Okay, I think we're live. Mr. Cell's coming on.
That's me.
That's
Hey,
you.
Mr. Cal.
Listen,
Hey, Mr. Kovar.
Hello, guys.
Is it a few days from now the big move in?
Oh man, there's always monkey wrenches, right?
Now what? Mr. Kovar messed it up for you? He probably messed it up.
Yeah, probably. No, the seller just didn't do one thing. So I'm hoping for good news today.
okay.
Nothing is more stressful than the whole interaction with buying a house. Doesn't matter, right? It's
Okay,
there's always
listen.
something. There's one more thing, right?
Yeah. So yesterday I got the call from the bank saying, "Hey, you're cleared to close." I'm like, "Great. Would you like to close this afternoon?" I'm just sure, let's do it. Supposed to do it Friday though, right? I was like, "Yeah, we'll close now." But seller has one little thing they got to do. Waiting on them.
Are you selling and buying or just buying?
Just buying.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's good. That's one.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't have to do that. That would be even tougher, right?
Oh, yeah, then you got a whole extra moving piece.
Yeah.
You guys want to talk trash
Mr.
about?
Brenner, what's this thing you're growing, man?
You like it? You like it?
If you put a little milk on it, let the cat lick it off.
I thought last time it was eyebrows, so I wanted to do that.
It looks good, man. It looks good.
Yeah.
Mr. Sell and I are both handsome enough that we don't need the facial hair. So that's
100%.
kind of.
I'm actually covering up some of my ugly. Yeah, it's great. So do you want to talk trash about Adam? I'm sorry, no, I would never do that.
Oh, no, we should definitely haze Mr. Kiefer since he's 1 minute late today.
What's up, guys? Sorry,
I'm gonna do my beard next time like his.
I want to
No,
give Solomon a chance this week.
Say it again.
So I was trying to give Solomon a chance, not be the last one.
Gotcha. I was going to compliment Mr. Kovar, Mr. Sell for being so punctual and respectful. That's amazing, guys. I'm so proud of you.
That's true.
We also, Mr. Brenner learned how to do mustaches and goatees this week. So now he has some new facial hair for us. Pretty sweet.
I showed my wife, she was, I had like a mustache here and then like the eyebrows. And she's like, "Do you know Charlie Chaplin? You look exactly like Charlie." She's like, "This is awesome. Take a picture for our daughter. This is amazing." And she was like falling down laughing. So I saved it for you guys.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Anything I can do to help? Anything I can do to help?
Well, welcome, gentlemen. Good to have us all here again today. I thought we'd start with our Super Bowl plans and who we're rooting for and what our predictions are. And obviously, there's only one right answer. But happy to go around the boxes. So, Mr. Sell, I assume you have some wild party in Tampa?
No, closing on a house. So we're not doing nothing. We're doing that. So no.
I'm jealous.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Nothing.
I think the Chiefs are gonna win. That's who I'm going for.
Outrageous. I wish I had any facts to support why I think the Eagles are going to do better, but I'm just going to be outraged for the camera.
That's true. That's true. So, Mr. Kovar, what do you think?
Oh, Chiefs, absolutely. I'm only saying that because you guys from Philly, so I have to go with the Chiefs.
Got it.
Yes.
So the only thing I'm nervous about, during the national championship game, they sat him down. They sat Hurts down during the game, so he doesn't have that like big game experience. So that makes me a little bit apprehensive. And I think like if you use a golf analogy, they say a 3-foot putt is not always a 3-foot putt. Like when you're about to win the U.S. Open, that 3-foot putt is a lot scarier than like when you're playing with your friends a 3-foot putt. So of course, I'm rooting for the Eagles. And are we going to do scores? Do you guys know that they had the same amount of touchdowns through the regular season, the exact same amount? They had 53 touchdowns each.
I did see that stat that may or may not be accurate. Yes, sir.
And I like the risk taking from 4th and 1. Like they're constantly going for it. I think that's awesome. Now, Cynthia Michael's covering his mouth to try not to laugh. Now, obviously, I'm a very well-versed NFL football analysis person.
Yeah.
I did not make a call to one of our instructors and say, "Hey, tell me some stuff about the Eagles." When he played on Alabama and he got benched, thank you, Mr. C. And I specifically said, "Don't tell Sensei Michael about this fact because I want to use this fact."
But what's funny about this, as you were saying it, I was thinking, oh, the very next year he was pulled off the bench to win the SEC championship. So I think he does have that experience. I also made a similar phone call about 30 seconds after you, where the conversation is literally, wait, I just told him something. Let me get you a rebuttal fact.
Oh my God.
I feel like both of you guys would have been on here going, "Go sports."
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. For me, it's like how many home runs do they have to score to win the Super Bowl? And is
7.
it, yeah.
7.
Yeah, my follow-up question was, what team does Hertz play for?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
But the 53 touchdowns, I thought that was wild. And I also use Chat GPT now for all of my questions. Besides asking one of our guys, I also Chat GPT'd it. And it said it doesn't really give me that kind of facts. But I assume some future AI will be predicting the market for me. So that would be great. So anyway, my prediction is 34-31 Eagles. I don't know if that's even a score that's possible.
It is.
Okay, it seems like Mr. Kuiper might have real information. What do you think, sir?
I don't have real information.
I
We're having,
You were
Right.
nodding along very knowledgeably, like, oh, okay, yeah, they sound like they know something.
well, I'm trying to look confident here, guys. Come on. I'm gonna vote for Kansas City just because you guys are voting for Philly. I always root for the underdogs. So I think are the Eagles favored by a little
They're
bit?
favored by 1.5. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
I
also
just
Google search them.
my Bears never make it to the Super Bowl, so I always pick the underdog because they're usually the
Underdog.
closest to the Bears. So I'll go with the Eagles. And then we're having our teams over from the different companies to do a Super Bowl party. But
Oh, that's awesome.
low key. Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yes,
Are you
sir.
doing that? Mr. Brenner, is your sister having a big Super Bowl party?
She is. I will not be attending. She does not allow children, and I don't really go very many places without my daughter. And I really don't care about any of this. You know, I think it's great that the Eagles are in it. Of course, go Eagles. But I think I'll watch half of it with my dad, and then during halftime I'll watch the halftime show and then drive home, and then I'll watch the second half like in bed.
Got it.
It's gonna be
For the
late.
first-
Like, I can't be up that late.
For the first time in my entire life, I bought an actual like sports piece of clothing so I can have something Eagles to wear for the Super Bowl party.
My brother, who most of you guys know, is a huge Eagles fan, and he has tickets to he hasn't tickets to the Super Bowl yet, but he's had a plane ticket and an Airbnb for months, and he's working on his Super Bowl ticket as one of his bucket list things right now. And I was at his house with all of his friends that are crazy Eagles fans during the last Super Bowl, and they're like, just couldn't be happier, like partying at every move, like everything's happened. And he has like video of me like during like a touchdown, like laying on the couch, like not
Well,
caring.
on this subject, the Super Bowl's here in Arizona. I looked into getting tickets. Does anyone want to guess how much it costs for a suite? At the
Oh,
Super-
it's sweet.
Oh, it has to be
20, 30
outrageous.
grand.
850,000.
All right, so what you're telling us is we're all going to the Relentless Suite this weekend?
Wait, yeah.
No, we're having we're having a party at
Mr.
my
Sell has,
house.
Mr. Sell has a box. You should have a box. Like, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, so when they were looking for tickets, the last update I saw, they found like, the worst seats in the stadium for about 4,500 plus fees. So they'd be in for about 5,500 a ticket.
For nosebleeds.
Yeah, for the worst seats, 100%.
I'm gonna be sitting on my parents' couch eating pizza.
Yeah, I am looking forward to, so some friends of ours, we rented like a private room at a bar in the city. But my only requirement for the Super Bowl was if I go and see it, I want to be like in Philadelphia, like downtown for
Of
whatever's
course.
gonna happen. Hopefully it's happy rioting as soon as the game is
The
over.
morning parade.
Yeah.
Wait, stop. What bar and how much is a suite at a bar?
So it was about 11 grand to rent it out, and it's open bar, open food, and there's about 80 of us going, so it worked out to like 100 and change per person.
That's not bad.
No, not bad at all. And it'll just be our people, right downtown. Yeah, it'll be great.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I mean, it's not $150,000 for a suite for 6 people, so.
So let's crash it, gentlemen. Let's crash. Nobody gave their scores yet. I gave my score of 34-31. Nobody gave their score. Let's see who's closest.
I don't think we care enough to guess.
I don't.
Just make it's just two numbers next to each other. Then you say who you think is gonna have the highest number.
27-24 Eagles.
'Twenty-four
27-24 Chiefs.
Mr. Kovar, come on. Really?
Mr. Sell thinks it's gonna be a tie. They're just gonna end it, shake hands, walk off.
First time in history, we're calling it a draw, guys. It's every fucking day.
They're just gonna all get the Super Bowl. They all split the Super Bowl rings.
24-17 Chiefs.
Okay. I'm gonna make sure we play this recording back on Monday morning. And Mr. Kovar, I feel like you're gonna have a lot of angry people when you come to visit us next month.
Well, that's right. Never mind. Go Eagles. Go Eagles.
Exactly. Yeah. We're not going to forget it a couple weeks there. Anyway, I have good predictions, everybody. So I am excited about this conversation, and I gave Mr. Sell some private homework. So I'm going to ask you to weigh in kind of last, Mr. Sell, since hopefully you have some facts to support what we discussed for the next couple of minutes. I think that'll be
I
pretty
have
interesting.
facts.
Amazing. Okay, well, awesome. So yeah, so what I want to talk about, and I feel like this comes up a lot in our world, is like contract versus no contract for students. And then really, do you hold them to the contract? Because, plenty of schools, have a membership, but really it's a 30-day out or whatever, which, is just a month-to-month membership in disguise. So what do you do in your organization? Do you really hold them to it? Why or why not? And then Mr. Sell, what I asked Mr. Sell to look up is, hey, the top performing schools that he sees, what do they do? Like, let's put some real data behind it. Mr. Kuiper, do you want to share first what happens down in Arizona for you? Or what you coach your
Sure.
clients to do?
Let me start by saying, I don't think either way is the wrong way to go. I think it depends on your business model and then the systems you have in place. I think when you do month to month, you just have to have better retention systems in place. Because I think a lot of people contracts sort of rely on the contract to keep the person, which could or could not work. But we do open-ended. They still technically sign an agreement, but it's month to month and 45-day cancellation notice. And honestly, as long as they paid for the last month they trained, we're not looking to collect another payment. It's just to ensure that they pay for their last month of training.
Do you think people really think that if someone has a contract, they're gonna stick around longer?
Some people, I don't think all, but I think some people, like, good example, the school that I took over, they would not do miss you in class calls because they thought people were gonna try and cancel their contracts.
Heard
So
that.
they use the contract as a tool to keep them in place. I'm hoping that's not a majority thing.
Right on.
Mr. Sell, was your question, do you think like the school owner?
Well, because I've always
Think
heard
they're gonna stay, or do
people
you think
say
that-
that. I mean, I've heard people say that a lot, and it didn't resonate with me or whatever. Like, if I have them in a contract, they're going to stay longer, and or I'll make them stay longer, whatever they say. And I always thought it was an odd statement to say.
I agree.
Okay, all right.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't think anybody's gonna make anybody stay longer. I do think there's some perception of commitment. There's some attitude of, okay, well, I did commit to this. And, if you follow your commitment, okay, well, they're more likely to stick it out. Anyway, Mr. Kovar, what do you want to share with
I
us?
got a strong opinion on it, of course, like we all, it's kind of like, I think it can be done a lot of different ways, but the bottom line is the most important thing. I think the value of a contract, if you're doing them, is not I've never sent to anybody collections. I'd never do it in a million years. I want to walk into the grocery store with an old student and be able to hold my head high and know that there's no, that guy tried to, it's just like, it's not worth it, man. And also, so I think the value, it's important at the beginning of their students' training that you get them to think long-term into their training. Hey, this isn't something you do for a couple months. You're right. This is something that, and that's why we actually have a year agreement. But they can get out of it with it anytime they want, basically, right? And so we explain to them it's a mental commitment. And by the way, in the state of California, you can't pay for services not rendered. So if we did go to small claims court, we would lose every time. I would never do it. But so for us, it's about really, when someone first comes into the system, making sure that we build the value into the program and get them thinking long-term training. So for me, it's three things when they first start. Get them in the habit of coming to class. That's number one. Call them as soon as they don't make it. Number two is help them have a white belt moment. That aha moment, they go, oh, I love martial arts. And number three is always be focusing on long-term training. And both even when you're walking through the lobby, when I'm walking through the lobby of a school and I see a little orange belt, I'll talk to him and I'll go to his mom and dad. Oh yeah, nice to meet you. I'm Mr. Culver. They're going to be training with us until they go away to college, don't you? I'm just planting that seed. And you all know this to be true. There's something magical that happens when a kid grows up in a martial arts school, Mr. Smith. And you guys all know this is true. And so planting that seed constantly. And I think if you do that, very few people are going to stick around because they, because they signed a 3-year contract or something. And that's something we did as an industry, and we did it for a while as well. But I'm also, I think that it's a slippery slope if that's what we're relying on. We've got to keep people there because they want to be there, not because they signed some financial agreement.
So I have a question, Mr. Kovar. So I get all the ideas that you said, and we do all those ideas from you. So your students now do an agreement, or they don't do an agreement? I don't know.
Yes,
what you were
we do an agreement, but it's
how long
it's
is it? How long do they think it is?
Well, we explain to them it's a 90-day out at any time. But if somebody wants to get out sooner, honestly, that's just we're not going to hold them to it. In other words, we're going to do our best to say, Michael, so you want to discontinue your training? You know, we remember we talked about a 90-day out. So, you know, you're going to continue to pay for X long. And if they complain about it or anything, we'll work with it on it. But the whole idea with it, once again, we pre-framed this at the beginning with the parents that we're going to have this in place so that we have a chance to get them refocused if they start to lose interest. I don't know if I answered your question or not.
No, you did. I think that was better clarifying.
We have a
for
black
me.
belt club, but our black belt club, all it is that I sit down and I say, so Adam, I understand you want to get your black belt. You understand that if you sign this piece of paper, it basically says, I, Adam Kiefer, do hereby swear to get my black belt, and I'm not going to quit. And if I do, Mr. Kovar can harass me. Okay. And that's really what it's about. It has nothing to do with finances whatsoever. You know, it's an emotional commitment that you make to your training for the next few years.
All right, I'm going to say the opposite of you guys. We do have contracts, and in full transparency, some of our instructors hold people to it, some do not. You know, with managed schools we kind of let them decide what they want to do. Traditionally, we suggest that they do hold people to their contract. I think when you talked earlier, Mr. Kovar, like, oh, I want to walk my head high. I think they should walk with their head low. The fact that they, you know, agreed to do something and then they're not doing it. I'm pretty sure that, like, you know, and one of the things that I learned when I was in school was that, like, the price of something is indication of value, and there's other things that are absent, right? So if you put two pieces of jewelry next to each other, you really don't understand what you know, like, you can't tell what's real and what's not. And one was $10,000, one was $1,000. You would assume, or a watch, you would assume the $10,000 one had some higher value, right? Like, price is an indication of value, right? So I also think the hardest things in the world, like, when you want to, it's harder to get into like a better school. When I say harder, like, not just like you need better grades, but like there's more hoops to jump through. There's more things you need to do to go to, or it's harder to get into a good school or a better dating app. There's dating apps now that you have to like get letters of recommendation. Like, it's harder to do things that are better to do. So I think that you know, if you look at that as from a viewpoint, at least from my standing, and, you know, I sign a commitment for the mortgage for the building, you know, we're signing to pay all the bills for it. If they want to commit to it, and that's our way, I think it kind of, I always look at it like it's an indication of us being a more, I don't know about more special place, but like a higher, you know, we're a private club. We're not like, you know, something else. With that being said, obviously, I certainly see, you know, the success of the schools that don't do memberships, and it's probably easier to sell those, I would think. And I think, oh man, maybe we should do that. But so far we've stuck to what we've done. And of course we do all of the retention tools that you guys are talking about. We do the missing in action calls. We have people reserve classes. You know, they can't just come whenever they want now. They have to reserve it in advance. We call them if they don't reserve it. So we're doing it like way ahead of time. But I do think that we should never be ashamed of somebody breaking their word and somehow we're embarrassed. They're the ones breaking their word, not me. You know, we get, and by the way, we offer month to month. So we offer month to month, because one of the things we also learned was when somebody feels like there's no choice, that's a good choice for them. That's what upsets them. But, you know, you could go month to month. This is tuition for month to month. It's more, it's less if you could do 6 months. It's even less if you do 12 months. But it's your choice. Just like going to Sam's Club, you can buy a little thing of peanut butter at the store. You can buy a bigger thing of peanut butter at Sam's Club, right? Like, it's a better value to buy the bigger one, but you have to buy a bigger one. So if you want to buy, you know, a big kind of like, and then it's also like about them setting their goals and what they want. And the reality of it is, I believe that everyone at some point wants to quit, right? Like then the only way they're going to learn grit is by doing that. And by having the membership, and we have tons of kids, tons that have earned their black belts. Their parents come crying to us afterwards. And, you know, of course, you know, we talk to them a million times about not quitting and all that other stuff, but in the back of their heads, maybe they stayed because they thought they had to pay. I'm okay with that too. Like, if I have to like force somebody to be successful, cool. I'm fine with it.
Well, I don't think, I mean, there's a lot of different ways to do it. Like Adam said, there's no right or wrong way. You just have to do what you feel best about. And for me, it's kind of like, what my thing is, if I'm not going to hold somebody accountable to a financial agreement, why would I have it? In other words, at the end of the day, I'm not gonna, if they really want out, I'm gonna let them out. So what I have is I have no benefits of the long-term agreement.
No, I agree.
I have the detriment of it. And so but I think the emotional commitment is the most important thing. And if that's how you're getting that, is by the agreement, you're signing for a year at this rate, it's really important you train for a year because it takes at least that amount of time to get results, then that's fine. But I think when you have too many options, a confused mind says no. And when people don't know what the heck's going on, they just back out. That's why we try to keep it as simple as possible.
No, we have three options. I don't believe we have too many. We have three.
Okay.
I think over 5 or 6 is like the magic where the break is like problematic. But we have 3, and it's month to month, 6 months or 12 months. And if they choose it, they chose it. And we've done experimenting things like, oh, if you want to get out of it, you can. You just have to pay the difference for like what you would have done the other way, kind of thing, or whatever. Do some of our schools let people out a little bit, more flexibly than some of our other ones? Absolutely. And certainly we always agree that the quality of your class is really, at the end of the day, is what's going to, build your retention. But them believing it's a private school, and even private school, if you want to get in the private school for your kids, it's harder than going to public school or a cheap private school. Like all, every time you have to jump through a hoop, it has the, more value. And anyway, and I also don't like the instructors thinking there's a contract that's going to hold the person in. We do talk a ton about building a relationship, and we teach everybody like how to build a relationship to keep that person. Michael, do you want to, since you're mostly doing our teaching of that, do you want to add anything that I'm missing or no?
No, I think, for me, like I was going to say, I probably get the phone calls the most of, hey, Johnny, here's what's happening with Johnny's mom. What should we do about it? And, for me, it's always the fine line of, did you do everything you can? Like, you're actually helping this person. You're actually building a connection. They're seeing progress. Did you do all the stuff where they should stay? I feel a lot better about holding them to their membership than, oh, wait, you don't know who that kid is. You don't know his family. You don't know why he's there. You're not helping him. Okay, they should quit. You lost them. They didn't quit. You lost them. But like when we do when I can go to bed at night and think, okay, we did everything right to help that family. Okay, I'm good about it. Like I did my part. And like, I know if they bring Johnny in, I know we can help him. I feel good about that. And what you said, Solomon, about we all have, I'm sure you all have the stories too, of like the family that wanted to quit. We said, no, you have a membership. 3 years later, they earned their black belt.
Of course.
I'm good. And if we get a bad review sometimes because people don't like that, I'm also good with that. Like, we have a lot of really good reviews, and I believe we're doing the right thing at the end of the day. It's not like, oh, we gotcha. It's, hey, this is going to help you. I know this is going to help you if you stick it through.
And sometimes it might just be a mental thing, right? Like they just might think they have to stick with it because they did it, and it might help them get over a rough patch. A lot of times when they call us, like many times it's an emotional thing that they're doing, like somebody in their family just lost a job, but chances are they're going to get a job pretty quickly. And by the way, we would work with them financially, no issue with whatsoever. We do it all the time. They're about to go through divorce. Well, guess what? Through the divorce, that kid needs a positive outlet, so he should be with us anyway. And if it's a money issue, we'll work with them. So I think sometimes them believing they have to stay committed gets them over the rough patch of doing it, and a lot of times our first question is supposed to be the parent. Hey, let me ask you a question. Do you want your child to quit, or do you want them to continue? Like, what do you want out of this? And of course, when the parent says, I don't care, it's just an activity, then we did a terrible job. But if the parent's like, no, I wanted to do it, I'm just sick of fighting with them, then okay, let's work through this together. And we try to, it's almost never do we say, well, you have a contract. You know what I mean? Like, that's not like, the attitude is always like, how do we remotivate? How do we help you? Karate's not, Mr. Clifford would talk about like, karate's not fun. Why would I tell you it's fun? It's not fun all the time. Nothing that's worth doing is fun all the time. How could that be? If it's fun all the time, it's not worth doing. So anyway, good. So I don't know if anybody else has any other disagreements. Be great.
I think contract or not, it's about educating the parents about when that conversation does happen as many times as possible, so that the parent knows that, hey, when Johnny says he doesn't feel like coming to class today, it's not because he doesn't like karate, it's because he's present-minded, he's having more fun playing video games at the moment and doesn't want to leave that and do something else. So I think the more we educate parents in the onboarding process and just consistently throughout their membership, the less likely that conversation is going to happen, whether you're using contracts or not. Yeah. And I think that's where a lot of school owners, and where I used to miss out, because I used to suck at doing that. So we just sort of automated it with Spark throughout their entire journey to help make it easier. We talk about the new student orientation meeting. When a parent does come up, we'll be like, hey, did you try having them do chores 15 minutes before they have to leave for karate? So when you're like, hey, it's time to go to karate, you're like, yes, no more making my bed or cleaning my room, and they get to leave. And I think that the better we do with that and just communicating that to parents, the less times that's going to happen, and the better equipped the parents are going to be to handle those situations.
Speaking of that, are we still doing this? Shelley's doing her newsletter that we're supposed to do every month?
Every month, yes.
The Resilient Parent.
Yeah,
Is that happening?
This is now just a meeting for the Action Karate Schools.
I was just curious.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I think the other powerful part of that is, when times are good, reminding the parent times aren't always going to be good. When you do that progress check and like, oh, Johnny loves it and da. Amazing. At some point, he's not going to. And when that happens, it's normal and come talk to us right away. Because we've all had
And
those
also,
like last week they said it was great, and now like okay, well, then I'm sorry.
I think also explaining why they're going to do that, ahead of time. Like, they're not going to like it because it's going to be hard. And the very thing that they need to get through, the hardness of it, is going to make them want to quit. And it's up to us as parents to not allow them to quit on themselves, because all the juice is on the other side of that quitting, and I don't know how many times I've had that conversation way ahead of time. The preemptive strike, I think, is Master Kovar always says, letting them know that here's why they're going to want to quit. Even though they're happy now, it's coming. And let's get excited about that they want to quit.
Yeah, it's the opportunity.
Yeah, it's an opportunity for them for big growth. Same thing as in our life. Every time we go through enormous trials, it's the moments before victory that we experience, right?
I know, like writing a resignation letter, not handing it in. Thank you.
100%. Oh yeah. And also reminding ourselves of that stuff too helps us get through the next big thing, right? Remembering those things. Well, I got some stats for y'all.
I do. I'm very excited about that.
So currently, and I know you gave me specific homework, Michael, but I didn't have time to do all of my homework.
Yeah, but you say specific homework. I feel like I wrote a sentence. I was mostly illiterate, and I was hoping that you'd be able to figure it out.
In the middle of me driving is the problem.
Perfect.
It wouldn't, but you said look at our top schools, and that would take me a day, to filter through our top schools. So I just did all of the schools, all of them. All right. So right now, Spark collects on 1.8 million memberships a month, 1.8 million. And 1.2 of them, or almost 1.3 actually, 1,277,000, blah, 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 are all fixed terms. So that is 57% are fixed terms. And then the rest of them, which is 43%, a little over 500,000, is open-ended, month to month or week to week, or however they do it. I didn't get any more granular than that. So it looks like, fixed terms is still pretty big throughout the industry.
But it doesn't matter if there's more doing it. It matters the top 10 schools or the top.
I understand that, Solomon. I understand that.
I
was given the homework only a couple hours.
I understand they're doing it. Like, if I would say, in fact, my thing now would be usually what the majority of the people are doing is probably wrong. You know what I mean? So,
you know what though? At the same time, because I do have my hand on the pulse of what people are doing, and it seems like the schools, and I'm going to say a blanket statement, and it's certainly not intended this way. But what I hear a lot is put everybody on month to month because it's an easier sell. So when I was running the numbers, I honestly thought it was going to be the other way, because I know a lot of, especially smaller schools, they want it easier. And there's not besides Relentless and, maybe internally, there's not a whole lot of people out there teaching new school owners how to operate their business, right? Like they're just, they just know what they've experienced. So I really thought it was going to be opposite. And so I was kind of surprised that the majority of people still are doing, term agreements.
Actually, that was me higher contracts. I thought it was me like 80-20.
Is that right?
Yep.
So wait till I get to the top 10. I'll have that for you by the end of the week.
Okay. Yeah.
you have 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
I mean, no teacher says, hey, you got to turn this in an hour. It's your homework. They give you at least a day.
That's the Action Karate way.
Yeah.
I'm also going to play devil's advocate, because what is a top school considered to be? Are we just looking at gross?
Yeah, let's figure that out.
Yeah, because we don't have, I'm guessing Spark has no way to see net profit or anything like that.
100%. No.
So
hold
so
on. Yeah, but
gross.
Yeah, of course, net is all that matters.
Yes.
But gross is probably the number. The gross, I think, would at least be showing. Like top line would be, of course, what they're collecting and what they're not collecting. That's just them having bad finances. That's like, that would be like saying, like, okay, well, how much money do they have invested? It doesn't matter. Like do you disagree with that? Like that it doesn't, I don't think it matters in this context what their net is. That's, obviously a disaster for them.
I would throw attrition into that equation as well. Because if
And
they're
also
growing
maybe-
100 grand, but their attrition's 10%, something's
Right.
off.
Yeah,
agree.
or also how about longevity too? Like, they've been doing it for a while because anybody can do, pretty big numbers for a month or two, right? So longevity, retention, or churn rate, that's very low and, a high gross.
All right, well, I'm looking forward to you.
So you only gave me
all
a
this
one line.
information.
Now we have already come up with a bigger homework for me, but I'm cool with that.
I would like to say one thing. I agree that your teacher can't give somebody homework a couple hours before, except for to their A students. They're like ideal students. I feel like
Yes.
they could, like they're show ponies, they can do anything. I feel like on this call, Mr. Sell, you are like an A+ person that can get things done. So I think that's what he was thinking.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Of course, yeah. It wasn't a phone call with somebody else on this call, like, oh, do it right now, text right now, we'll get it ready.
I suggested we do it like the other day, and then I reminded you earlier.
That's true, that's true, yeah, well, one day. Okay, well, I'm looking forward to some more facts. Do you want to share how we're all growing in 2023? What our like big goals are for our organizations? I saw Mr. Kiefer, you had some exciting news today. That's pretty awesome. If you want
Oh,
to
congratulations. Yeah, that's awesome.
Congratulations.
Yes. We've been waiting to announce that for a while. We're excited.
I think that's going to be so good. I mean, having somebody like that, like full-time, is just amazing.
Agreed. Yeah.
where does she fit into like the franchise piece, the relentless piece? What is she like really taking charge of?
I'm not sharing anything on the franchise yet, but no,
You posted about it.
Yeah, listen, you post on Franchise Secrets. We're all on the same website.
Oh yeah, we're in that group. Yeah, but no one else. Yeah, I think honestly, I think Kelly is like the perfect COO for really pretty much any company because she's so good with people and processes and culture. And she is like a top tier implementer, 100%. So I know on both the agency and the mastermind, she's going to start taking over those operationally to free up some more of my time as we're planning this franchise and stuff. And then on the franchise side, like I think in a couple of years, we'll be able to move her over to COO of the franchise like easily. She has franchise experience already and will crush it. But I think for us, for Relentless side, we're really focused on people this year and hiring more rock stars to add to the team and growing the team. We just moved into a new office, so we have room for a lot more hires now. And then on the martial arts side, just we're focused on location 2 right now, opening and doing pre-opening marketing. Our goal is to open with 300 members, like full pay members day 1 through our 10-week pre-opening process. So we're going to document the whole thing too, almost like documentary style. So that way we can share it with the industry afterwards and show the results. And I know Ron, you did like a documentary when you guys opened as well. And I thought it was cool just to see like the inside of the day-to-day and the struggles and all of that. So we want to share that as we're going through that process. And also just because pre-opening marketing is not very well known in our industry. I think it's like we're just starting to see people starting to consider it. But the fitness industry, it's like a requirement almost when you open is that you have a pre-opening campaign that you're doing. I know Master Cover and I were talking when he was out here about some schools that had successful pre-openings as well. So we just want to make that more of a normality in our industry where people can open day 1 and be cash flow positive and not have to worry about like hoping students are coming in the next 6 months or a year and keep
too stressful.
Yeah, keeping things stretched thin. So that's our goal. So we'll be happy with 2 locations, and then we're rebranding everything from MX to our new brand.
I know MX was something you were very passionate about, that name specifically.
We know the new brand.
I didn't know what it meant.
I'm just teasing. We've talked about it several times. Like, they came in the building.
We're at a tournament and someone from Team Mexico came over and he's like, Team MX, Team Mexico, right? Sure. I was like, I don't know.
Where are you in like location 2? Like it's like lease sign, building, like where are you in the process?
We're waiting for the anchor store just needs to sign something that says they're cool with us moving in. They already verbally agreed to it, but that's sort of the last piece that we're waiting on to actually get the keys. And then we're working with like a architectural engineering and design firm that is doing the entire interior design and layout, and then sort of creating the design packet for copying that for future locations.
I know it was 42,000 for your initial cost for that. Did you find somebody better?
So we just negotiated down, and we took off some things that we don't necessarily need right now that maybe are going to be like around location 5 we'll need. So we got that down to about half of what it was.
So like no water fountain and bathroom, you don't need that in all the locations.
Well, no, not even. I'm not talking about buildings. Just design and like brand kit and all that stuff. And they put together all the hardware and stuff that you need, so you can just pretty much give the document to the contractor and they know exactly what to do. But there's some like stuff that we won't need for years also that was in their original proposal that we just took out.
That's great. Well, very exciting.
You have an amazing design touch, I think, based on your first goal. So I feel like this is going to be super beautiful.
Yeah, it's going to be definitely a higher end looking martial arts school.
Love it. Awesome. Mr. Kovar, what's
Right,
happening?
Mr. Kovar, I think is ignoring us here.
Did you say Mr. Kovar's ignoring us?
Yeah.
No, we're in growth mode. At COVID, we closed a couple schools. We opened one last year. So we went corporate from 8 to 6, and we've got 7 licensed locations. So we opened up a 7th location corporate, and we're hoping to open at least one more this year. So we're we're looking right now. We don't have any leases out. And me personally, I'm doing quite a bit more stuff outside the martial arts world. It's kind of fun, kind of different. And so doing more workshops and presentations. And so I love talking about the martial arts world. Honestly, I can do it, but I've been teaching people how to do a first lesson for 45 years. I'm ready for some new challenges, so to speak, but I still love that stuff. But so that's kind of personally, I've got some guys taking over my position. So I'm actually changing my title. I'm going to just be founder and chief advisor. So I'm really, withdrawing a little bit more from the day-to-day operations from our business.
Congratulations on that too.
Yeah, awesome.
It's good to get into the founder role.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
fantastic.
How hard is it how hard is it for you in the advisor role, not being the the final advisor?
You guys, I mean, you know my team. I got a great team. And the reason why I have a great team is because I suck at so many things, and I'm smart enough to get guys that are good at what I'm not good at. So already for most things, they don't even think of me. So if something comes up, they don't go, oh, Mr. Kovar, not him. No, they don't even think of me. So I'm having that happen less and less. So I'm still doing staff meeting. I still train with my guys. I have a great relationship. I'll continue that. But any decisions, I'm only the tiebreaker. And when it comes to like curriculum stuff. And of course, I haven't been the CEO for, forever. Mr. Chairman's doing that. So any of those decisions are kind of, I always weigh in on any, on wherever I want to weigh in, but I trust my team, and I just want to put my thoughts in a different place right now for the most part.
Yeah, amazing. Very, very cool. Well-deserved, of course.
Yes.
Mr. Sell, what's happening in Sparkland? I see you guys have a
Yeah.
brand new facility happening down there.
Yeah, I mean, we it's fun. Like 2022 was the year of holding on with both hands, and 2021 was the year of sitting on the toilet, I guess, right? Scared to death. But 2023 to me seems like it just seems so fresh and so exciting. And I'm lucky enough that I have so much excitement about everything that we do, and I have since I was teaching karate when I was 10. It's like it's just so exciting to just do new things. And so, we've been as a company for the last couple of years, we've been thinking about what's our next level and next level and next level. We've had, several companies, big companies, offer to buy us, and me and GMP are just not interested in that. It's like we're super excited about what we still can create and build. And so that's what this year is all about. So, we're currently building a 5,000 square foot training facility and staff facility. And we broke ground like a month ago, and they've laid the foundation, and the blocks got delivered yesterday. So I think in the next 6 months, that thing will be ready to go. We plan on having trainings here in Tampa where people come in and learn how to, to take their software to the next level. A lot of people always tell us that they only use about 5% of what we give. I think that's a mischaracterization. They probably use a lot more than they think they do, but it's going to be an opportunity for every month people to fly into Tampa, enjoy our awesome, facility and awesome weather and stuff. And so we're really excited about that. But other than that, we've got about 8 features that we've been working on conceptually that are just next level stuff. And we just, 2022 for Spark was how do we make things more efficient, better, faster? Because we just grew so much the last 2 years that, the things that we didn't pay attention to before started breaking. And so we had to literally go back to the drawing board on a lot of things and just rewrite it, which is crazy because it spent a lot of time and a lot of money on something no one's ever going to see. You know what I mean? It's like, we go so proud of something, but it's like, what'd you do, Ron? Show me. And you're like, yeah, can't really even show you anything because it was foundational stuff. But for us to get to where we really want to be and to help as many people as we can, it was necessary for us to go back. It's kind of like Florida roads. Like, they go in, they put in 4 lanes, and in the next 6 months, they're like, oh, this ain't enough. Put in 6 and 8. So that's what we did. We went back and did that. But we have 8 new features coming out. What's crazy fun is that we have a beta testing group, and that's not what we used to do before. We used to let basically Adam here test our stuff out and tell us how it didn't work, right? But now we have 130 folks that all they do is beta test, and that's after our QA. QA means quality assurance. That's after our developers test it and QA test it, and now we have actual clients, and that's what they're helping us out with. But we launched that 3 weeks ago privately, and within 2 weeks, it's ready to launch to everybody. We'll probably do that next week. So we have 7 more things that we want to push out that I think is really going to help school owners become more efficient. Because my whole goal in Spark is how do we help school owners be on the map more or not be on the map more? You know what I mean? Like if they want to enjoy their life, they can use Spark to help them do that. Or if they love being on the floor, how do we help them be more efficient at that and their team? So, I mean, I feel like I just started over again 6 years ago is what I feel like. Like I feel that renewed sense of it's all brand new again. And I love that feeling. So I think it's going to be a fun year.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I would
Adam, so
agree.
a
I think it touches
couple
my
of
heart
ideas
really
you've
well.
given us, and we've run with it, and so you'll be happy pretty soon here, Adam, with some of the stuff we got coming.
Can't wait.
Yeah,
Can I ask a question about your real estate?
yeah, sure.
I'm always, I love real estate, I like studying real estate. Your choice to build versus buy,
Oh,
like the
glad you asked.
square footage difference, or like you just wanted a specific location, or like what was the thought process?
All right, it's a lot more simple than you probably thought. So we spent 3 years looking for an existing building, and there's nothing. Like it was either in the worst part of town because we're all local, right? In Tampa here, we've got employees that come. So it was either in such a far area that it would be an hour drive for our employees, which we didn't want. Or if it was in central area, there was no real estate available, like just nothing that we could do. We found a building that was absolutely perfect. And we get there because we're looking every day for 3 years, no joke. We found this piece, we get down there and they go, oh, we didn't tell you, they already have a contract on it. We're like, why did you have us come down? It was really like that for the last year, we were just getting desperate. Like, let's go. We're getting impatient, not desperate, impatient. And finally, we're like, let's just bite the bullet, buy a piece of land, throw something on it. And we did buy in a really great spot. I believe in the next 5 years, the price will double, so I think, yeah, it's an excellent spot. It's going to hold its value. It's going to raise in value. So I think this is good for our team. It's good for our company, so just
Do you have to do everything? Do you have to put like the road in, the parking lot, the utilities, or some of that already there?
yeah, all of it's there. It was a piece of land that was ready for a building.
Oh, that's
We
great.
got lucky with all that.
How many floors?
Just one. It's 5,000 square feet, 1 floor.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, the phone's ringing. It's not mine. That's exciting.
Yeah, sorry. I thought it was on silent. All right, well, Mr. Brenner, we only have 2 minutes left. Do you want to share what we're working on in the final 90 seconds now?
Sure. Well, they're working on so many good things. I'm so excited. And Mr. Sal truly fills my heart when I hear those great things. I'm just jealous of Mr. Kuiper here hiring Kelly. But anyway, for us, we're always opening schools, and for us, it's always how do we develop the next round of people? How do we do that? So we're in the process. We just bought a building. We're in the process of opening a school there. I'm constantly negotiating on more things, and we have like one other group of people that want to open up a school, definitely. Then we have a whole team of people that we're now training, and we're doing like lunch and learns and all these other ways to do that. And that's kind of like on the regular action karate side. And I think I told you guys this before. We're also figuring out a way to, I think it's kind of, everything is full circle, where all the building companies used to have, like EFC used to have their board where, Mr. Kovar, you were on it, all the seminars and stuff like that, where I had a conversation 2 days ago with Mr. Kokinis, actually. I can tell you about that later. He's an awesome guy. And where I think what'll wind up happening is there'll be like a level of billing that they do that'll be like the action way or the gold way, or I don't know, whatever it's called, that is our systems built into this, to what they do. And then it also comes with like our version of consulting, which is, all the blueprint they need to run their school. So they can, all the same stuff that you just said, Mr. Sell. So they can, get out of their teaching if they want to, which seems silly, or teach, but be more profitable and, invest and blah, 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 and have the life that they really deserve to have as martial artists. And my goal has always been the same, which is martial arts is looked at like equal to an engineer or a doctor, not like some, horrible profession that is because you can't do anything else. And you're kind of like a little embarrassed.
For sure, for sure. All right, well, gentlemen, it is 3:15. I will be texting the 4 of you live updates during the Super Bowl. Hopefully all of our predictions are right. My money is on the tie, so I'm gonna put some.
Yeah,
I think we should all bet on the tie.
Oh, stop. We should get Bitcoin and bet on the tie.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Good idea. All right, well, gentlemen, always awesome. Talk to you
Thank you,
guys in a
guys.
couple weeks.
Yes.
Have a great afternoon, everyone.
Thank you,
All right.
guys.
See you later, guys.